when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to Youth Wednesdays here on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. This morning, we're still celebrating International Women's Week. We're joining you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough, Tobago, and we want to send a special good morning to the viewers on all of our various platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and Channel 102 on Amplia. My name is Kaylee Lewis, and I am joined by
Natalia Nancis. Good morning, Kaylee. Good morning to all our viewers. It is an exciting week, International Women's Week leading up to International Women's Day. I'm excited to join with you all in celebrating it.
And Natalia, what has been happening in this space recently?
Well, I
Anything
see that
significant?
the temperature is hot. And WASA is now doing stuff to curb the water usage because water is down. The drinking water capacity is down in a lot of reservoirs around.
Okay. And is there anything specific that you plan to do to celebrate International Women's Day?
Besides being a woman, no.
Yeah, I think I could work with that. Okay, so viewers, we're going to head over to news in 90 seconds with Natalia Nancis.
Thank you, Kaylee. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Wednesday, 6th March 2024. WASA has imposed a nationwide ban on the use of water hoses and sprinklers due to an intense dry season affecting water sources across the country. Acting CEO Kelvin Romain announced the measures, including fines for violators, during a press conference. These measures are part of WASA's efforts to manage water supplies prudently as dry conditions worsen. Director of WASA Operations, Sharia Ali, noted the Hillsborough Dam in Tobago is currently at 77%, with its capacity expected to decrease. The authorities anticipate worse conditions in the months of March and April and are calling on citizens to be conservative with their use of water. Trinidad artist Joseph Olivier, also known as Meds Boss, was charged under the Anti-Gang Act of 2021 for alleged gang involvement and appeared in the North High Court on March 4th. Granted 40,000 bail by Master Margaret Sukraj Gunswamind, he is due back in court on March 15th. His arrest followed an SIU investigation into social media content promoting gang violence. Commissioner Erla Harewood Christopher announced the fight against gang promotion in entertainment, highlighting the dangers of gang culture. The arrest was part of a coordinated cooperation in Beetham Gardens, with further investigations led by PC Macmillan. St. Lucia's opposition leader, Alan Chastanut, outlined plans to establish a collaborative alliance of opposition leaders from Caribbean nations to collectively address regional issues. He praised the UNC leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar for her visionary leadership in initiating this concept. Chastanet highlighted that crime should be seen as more than a national issue, expressing concern about the desensitization to the high crime rates. He called for a renewed sense of urgency in tackling the problem as Caribbean states are poised to introduce legislation for regional travel through the CARICOM single market and economy. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Natalia, for that wonderful read of the news. Okay, so we have some birthdays this morning. So first up, we have Dora Davidson, aka Auntie Dora, viewing from the inception from New York. Happy birthday from your children, Abian, Nadine, Sean, Oswald, and Ria. Grandchildren, and the rest of the family with love. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to Arendelle Brewster. He works right here with us, Kaylee. Happy birthday to Mr. Brewster, and God's blessings to you on your birthday.
Next, we have Destiny Corby. Happy birthday to you, Destiny, and we hope that you have an excellent day. All God's richest blessings.
Happy birthday to my neighbor, Alyssa Ross. I do hope that you do enjoy the rest of your day and all the celebrations that come with it.
All right, viewers, so we have an interesting show this morning. Very, very packed. So, Natalia, do you want to give the viewers the rundown?
Of course, that is not a problem, Kaylee. For our exciting program for this morning, we will first have Ms. Petal Benoit, Minority Councillor, on the topic of women in politics, and that will be done by Ms. Kaylee Lewis. Then we'll have Mrs. Jamila Joseph Nichols, Director of Education for the Seventh-day Adventist Tobago Conference, on the topic of women in education. This will be done by yours truly. We'll move on to Kinaya Johnson, owner of Le Auction Friandises. Kaylee, you'll just, give the viewers the right pronunciation and that fancy word for this morning, talking on women in food industry. And last but not least, Ms. Tomati Ramkisoon, a fisherwoman. This will be done by yours truly on a topic, women in the fishing industry. And that will be a rundown for this morning.
Okay, so viewers, we're going to take a short break. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Hello everyone, it's your boy Harry here from Authentic Car Clinic, located right here in Tobago at Storebay Local Road. You can WhatsApp us or call us at 366-4173.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back. It's Youth Wednesdays here on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. And this morning, we're chatting with Minority Councillor Petal Daniel Benoit. Good morning to you, and how are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Kaylee. I am doing well. It's always a pleasure to join you on this program, on Tobago Updates, the youth program. So I'm happy to be here this morning.
Great. And let's start off with very simple question. Tell us about yourself. Who is Petal Daniel Benoit? Aside from Minority Councillor, who are you? What do you like to do?
Well, Petal Daniel Benoit, before getting into the cut and thrust of the politics, I'm an accountant by profession. So I would have studied accounting, particularly through the Associate of Chartered Certified Accountants. So I'm currently a fellow, FCCA. I am an entrepreneur. I am a mother, a wife. I love ballroom dancing and dancing generally. I love to sing. Probably don't have the best singing voice, but I love to sing. I love interacting and meeting with people. I love dealing with young persons. I have been in the politics, however, behind the scenes for some time now. I started as a young person involved in the Youth League of the People's National Movement, serving in various positions throughout the organization. I'm also involved in other NGOs. I'm a former president, national president of JCI West Indies. I'm involved in NGOs in my community. I like volunteerism. And that is Petal Benoit in a nutshell.
Yeah, so definitely very well rounded. Okay, so you said that you are an accountant by profession, you're also an entrepreneur, and now you are in politics. Let's talk a little bit about that journey through your career path.
So that journey, quite interesting. As I indicated before, I went to school, Signal Hill Secondary, and another part of my life, I'm now the president of the Signal Hill Alumni Association. So that was my secondary school. I thoroughly enjoyed my secondary school life. Still very close friends with some of my schoolmates from then, 30 years ago. I would have studied in Trinidad, worked there for some 10 years, returned to Tobago, started my business in accounting. Over that time, I would have become a mother and a wife. So that was also a new experience for me. I don't think anybody could share or describe the whole process of motherhood and parenting. And after that, I am now into politics. I worked at the Division of Finance for a number of years as a senior financial analyst. And I think everything that I have done up until now would have prepared me for this role. It is not something that you were considering. Of course, after the elections, I was given the opportunity and I took that opportunity. And I think, as I would have said before, everything that my experiences would have prepared me for the role that I am currently holding.
Okay, so your work definitely speaks for itself in terms of how successful you are. How were you able to succeed in what we would say is a male-dominated environment, the political arena, accounting? What was that experience like for you?
So the experience was interesting. I think success, hard work, dedication, being consistent. Of course, having that, particularly in politics, having that support system, because that support system is really, really necessary. Having that village to help you along the way. Relationships, I must say that I have good relationships with the persons working around me, good relationships with your colleagues. I have a very good relationship working and a professional relationship with the minority leader, and just having that dedication and commitment, being humble. I think being humble is one of the major things that help you along with this, as well as having that divine connection with the Most High. Prayer and staying connected in a spiritual way goes a long way in helping you to be successful and to helping you maintain your sanity in this political environment.
And I can imagine throughout your journey, you may have faced some challenges. How did you deal with those challenges?
And challenges come wherever you are, whatever field you are engaged in. For me, one of the challenges in life basically was when we faced COVID. I think COVID was a major challenge and stress, particularly on the mental health. And I will continue to commend the teachers, because I don't think you recognize the human service that teachers provide when they take care and they instill that knowledge in our students. So for me, that was one of the challenging times, getting into the cut and trust of the political arena, being new to politics in terms of frontline politics. Now you have a microscope on everything you do, you say, how you look. That has been its challenge, and as well as sometimes in this particular, and I think generally in life, men and women are held to a different standard. So the things that a man could do and get away with, not so easily a woman. So it's just leaning on your support system, having that faith and trust in God, and being prepared.
Okay. And you mentioned things that men can do and women can't do. Do you think that is something that would change anytime in the near future, or is it something that society has just embedded in us and we will have to live with it forever, men and women being held to a different standard all the time?
No, I think things have been changing and they continue to change, even from where we have, and look at men and women in politics. I think in the past, it was totally male dominated. Now we are seeing nationally as well as in Tobago, women playing key roles in the political arena. We have seen where women are presiding officers in terms of the national, in terms of Tobago landscape nationally. We also see where our president is a female. We say the Speaker of the House is a female. We have in the Tobago House of Assembly where major office holders in terms of the Executive Council are women. Our current leader of Assembly Business is a woman, and we would have had women as Deputy Chief Secretary both in the past and current. So I think societal norms are changing. It is up to us to continue to advocate, to stand up for what is right, to move the boundaries, so to speak, and to continue to engender that change. It's not something that will happen overnight, but I think over time there has been improvement.
And in terms of motivation, you mentioned that divine connection, but is there anything else that you do to keep yourself motivated, to keep your sanity? Because I know that it can be very stressful.
Taking some time out to be by yourself, taking some time out to wind down, do whatever you enjoy to do, whatever you enjoy doing, sorry. So it may be as simple as going to the beach by yourself, walking on the sand. It could be as, going to a restaurant and having a meal. It could be, sitting reading a book, watching Netflix, maybe binging on a series. Whatever works for you that help you to come back to a space of oneness, I will recommend that you do that.
And what kind of influence do you strive to have on females within the Tobago space, or females in general? Because you mentioned women having or playing pivotal roles in the Tobago politics, and I'm pretty sure that you know that you are definitely one of those women. So congratulations again.
Thank you.
What kind of influence do you strive to have on females?
So I think that your actions speak for itself, and for me, I think it's not only what you say, but what you do and how you carry around yourself, your whole deportment. So in terms of influence, I would like to be a positive influence on young women and women aspiring to get into the political arena, because I know for me as a child and as a young person growing up, you always have this fright that, getting involved in politics is something that will tarnish your character. But I feel as if, how I carry about myself, the things that I do, I want to be a good example by my action so that other people will see it as an opportunity and as an avenue to engender change.
And who are some of the women that would have motivated you? Because it's International Women's Day, we're celebrating, and I'm sure that there are some females who would have motivated you or inspired you along the way.
Yes, for me, of course, my mother is one of the great influences. My father died while I was young, so I don't really know him. So I was 2 years old, and my mother has played an instrumental role in my upbringing. I would have looked at this movie, and her inspiration, her connection, her ability to just remove all the barriers and fear and fright to help people to get through the slave trade. For me, that was inspiring. In terms of women in politics, I look at Miss Claudia Groom-Duke, I look at Miss Camille Robinson-Regis, I look at Miss Cynthia Alfred. So those are some women locally that also I look up to and try to emulate in terms of my political career.
Well, we want to thank you so much for coming on and chatting with us. It was indeed a very wonderful conversation, and we hope to see you again sometime in the near future.
Thank you for having me, and I want to extend Happy International Women's Day to all our women.
Thank you so much. Viewers, we're going to take a short break. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Scrub Ties brings to you our organic fat dissolving shots. Yes, guys, our lemon butter shot breaks down stubborn fat, tightens any loose skin while increasing your metabolism. No side effects, no downtime. We also offer cavitation, cellulite treatment, butt, breast, hip dip fillers, weight loss, fertility IVs, and much more. Contact us on 495-6624 or follow us on Instagram at Scrub Ties Body Contouring.
No place like home, home, home.
Oh, I love Tobago, baby.
When we outside, it's an ocean of love. All that we align to the stars up above. Let we dance now, take a chance now with me. And we go jump till morning. Look, the moon gone sleeping. Tell them we not leaving. Till the last drop of bacchanal is madness in the capital. So I feel like I'm running tongue again. Jump and shake the ground again. We with all my friends and them. No place like home. 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 We go jump till the moon come down. It's we who the stars shine on. Play a mass and break away. Freedom in we DNA.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
And we are back here on Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates here at Port Moore, Scarborough. We continue on with our very exciting program. We welcome to studio this morning Mrs. Jamila Joseph Nichols, Education Director and Women's Ministries Director for the Tobago Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. Good morning to you, Mrs. Nichols.
Good morning, Miss Nancy.
Well, you see that Miss Nichols is smiling a lot. She is my past principal as well.
Yes.
So this will be a very interesting conversation this morning. Right, so Ms. Nichols, they know a lot about me, so they want to know about who we have on this morning. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, good morning, Tobago, and all those who are viewing. Who is Miss Nichols? I would start by saying humble youth from Trinidad, Penal to be exact. Grew up as a humble child, single mother, took me through school, primary school, secondary school, and I'm here today. I must say that I'm a woman. I've become a woman who I allowed God to lead, you know. So I would like to say Miss Nichols is somebody who just allowed God to lead her life.
That is true. I think I would attest to that as well, you being my past principal. Miss Nichols introduced herself as a humble youth. I know her as my principal, the disciplinarian. When I was there, she was very strict. You know, so what does International Women's Day mean to you?
Well, I know definitely the purpose for International Women's Day is to give women a voice. That's where it really started. And you know, I say to persons in Tobago, women have a lot of opportunities. Women do a lot of stuff. But we have to understand what international means. It's not just Tobago. A lot of women don't have the privileges that we have, don't have the ability to go to school, don't have a voice, the mutilation of the genitals. There are so many things happening across the world. And so even if we are not deprived as much as others are, internationally there are women who are deprived. So it's an opportunity for us to share what women are going through and give women an opportunity to see that there is a way that they can rise.
So I know your story personally. You've said it to us many times in encouragement in Girls' Day and stuff at Harmon, right? But they want to know as well what your story is. It wasn't an easy one. So what was your hardest battle in that story?
Okay. Well, for me, there are persons who have the opportunity of their parents paying for them to go to school, to upgrade themselves, etc. As I indicated, my mother was the one that took 5 of us through. She struggled. She definitely struggled. But my grandmother recognized that I had some great ability. So she took responsibility for carrying me through school, buying books, buying uniform, etc.
Another great woman, your
Oh,
grandmother.
yes, man. She's dead now, but I really look forward to seeing her again when Jesus comes. And, you know, I went through high school. I went through the A-levels and all of that. I was called to leadership at an early age because I was the head prefect at the school that I attended, Faizabad Composite School. And early in my years, I started teaching. So from A-levels, I got a call very early to teach, and hence the reason for me moving to Tobago. I did not have any degree at that point in time, but I'm saying to you, although my mother could not expend or spend for me to be educated, I had to work my way through. And every single degree that I did, my bachelor's, my master's, and now my doctorate, I was the one that had to provide for myself. Of course, now with my beautiful husband, right? But I would say even with that whole experience, it is important for us not to feel that because we did not have a very good start or we were not born with gold spoons, that you cannot elevate. You can elevate. You can work your way up. And that is what I did.
When you mentioned the prefect part, I remember when Harmon was doing the interviews for being a prefect. And honestly, I was not going to sign up.
Okay.
And Miss Nichols shouted at me from the front office to go and sign up. So I want to thank you so much for your input in my educational leadership in my journey, right? So as a past educator, what would you say are some of the rewards of furthering your education? Because you mentioned that you went from A-levels right up to your master's. So what would you say were the rewards that you gained from that elevation?
Well, while education or academic studies, formal school, some persons may say that it's not necessary for persons to make the dollar and stuff. That might have its truths. But I believe when you are educating yourself and giving yourself access to knowledge, it widens your opinions, it broadens your horizon, you learn a lot more, you're able to speak better. You know, persons who are not able to read, for example, there are limitations there. And so I think education opens your avenues. It allows you to see the opportunities that are out there. It allows you to speak to me more sensibly,
Yes.
you know, and it opened doors because, you know, generally, I'm a math teacher. I did both math and English, but, you know, some persons wonder why they are calling for math to get a job. But it's important. It helps your analytical skills.
It is hard
develops
to be on a job
critical
without math.
That is what I'm saying.
And
so
English.
That's what our society is. So
Yes.
education and ensuring that you kind of put it under your belt is important. I want to put a plug here for the youth who are presently in school. Please don't allow your years to go down the drain without ensuring that you take the time now. You'll have a lot of years like us to do whatever you want after that. But get it in because this is what the society is calling for. And if you really want to have a good transition through life, make your education priority.
And Ms. Nichols is coming from a place of an educator, because before even being principal, you were a teacher at Harmon, a math teacher, and I want to put in an excellent math teacher at that, right? Because I've heard about her. When I got to Harmon, it was, who is your teacher, Miss Nichols? Then you have a good teacher, right? So I want to put that in there. Miss Nichols speaks from the perspective of an educator as well. So what is your advice to young women today who might find themselves at a stumbling block? You know, you're going through and all of a sudden you don't have the funds, or, you know, something holds you back from elevating. What is your advice to them?
I would say do not rush life. I believe everything happens in its time. I believe God allows things to happen in a certain way. Sometimes things that you find or you call a stumbling block is for you to learn patience. And you know, I didn't have everything, the timing that I wanted. For example, I'm doing my doctoral program, and I started the program.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm nearly finished. I started the program some years before. Sickness got in the way. Finance sometimes got in the way. But I did not stop and throw my hands up. One of the things that I ensured I didn't do also is the person that I started with, I did not ensure or make it a problem if I found myself not able to finish with them. My journey is nobody's journey. My journey is mine. So I want to say to the women who may meet stumbling blocks, look up. That is what has been my stay. Talking to God, asking Him His direction, asking Him to open doors. And I'm telling you, all doors have been opened to me because I have put my trust there. And so don't allow yourself to be caught up with, I needed this now. No. Everything happens for a purpose, and God does all things well.
Thank you, Miss Nichols. So a lot of teachers are having difficulties, that I would say, in my personal opinion, appealing to the youths, young men included, not just all young women, because you see the rise in violence in the high schools today. So what advice do you have as an educator to educator? The teachers that are there, what advice do you have to them in appealing to the students? What do they do? What's their first step? How do they get through to the students who are violent, coming out of violent homes as well?
I would start by saying, love your student. And I'm not saying it from what a book told me. I'm saying it from what I recognize worked. Love your student. Many of the students who are given challenges, if you look at their background, you recognize that they have issues.
Right.
Sometimes fatherlessness, motherlessness, nobody cares, whatever the case may be. And meeting a teacher who shows interest. I've had a lot of students come to Harmon School who came as repeaters, who failed all their subjects.
Right.
And
So
they
they
came
started
into
from
math class,
scratch.
failed math. And then they found that the motivation was there, and they started driving and left with all their subjects. What was the difference? Love your student. A student must know that there is somebody who really concerned about them. I mean, you know, I have a concern for very large schools with very large classes, because it's really, it takes a toll on a teacher to have to pay attention to all. But at least a teacher must choose a couple of them, because not all students are in need. But at least a teacher must choose as students to work with.
Yes.
Work them through. We are really the parents of the students at the school. And if we are only concerned about academics, then we miss the mark. Because beyond the academics, all the different issues, sexual abuse, etc., that is happening, how could they focus? If we don't pay attention to more than the academics of the students' lives.
So we get to know the students.
Yes.
We get to love them.
Visit the home, call the parents,
Yes.
you know, pray with the student, bring something for the student. It makes a difference.
And again, I saw Miss Nichols do this as a principal at Harmon.
My life.
Yes. I remember there was a time, you know, Harmon School, we finish at 12:30 on a Friday. And the students, they take the opportunity to go and find idle things for their idle hands. So Miss Nichols took it upon herself to drive around Scarborough and look for her students and ensure to remind them that they need to be home, that they should not get in trouble. And that is one of the things that I really did appreciate. Even if I wasn't one of the students who was in town, you know, I never gave trouble, right, Miss Nichols?
No, never.
Never, right? I still appreciated what she did, because I saw a lot of my friends, they went down that road as well, and you were there to guide them along the way, right? So last but not least, Miss Nichols, what is your final appeal to youths who are going through their educational journey, and now seeing you at this point, what is your advice to them in terms of pushing forward?
I would say do not be hard on yourself. And I'm really serious about that. I had to learn that. Do not be hard on yourself. Sometimes you cannot make it. Sometimes things might be difficult at a particular point in time. It is okay to take a break and to rise and go again. The journey, your journey, as I mentioned before, is not everyone else's journey. But keep behind your mind persistence. This is my desire. This is my dream. Keep your dream ever before you and push towards that dream. And doors will open to make that dream happen. And of course, ensure that that dream is God's will, because sometimes we push towards something that is really not what God sees for us.
Yes.
So ensure that you understand your purpose, ensure that you understand what God requires for you, and everything that you need, all the resources that you need for that, God will put in place.
Thank you so much, Ms. Nichols. Thank you, viewers, for listening on to Ms. Nichols this morning. Ms. Nichols, we thank you for being on Youth Wednesdays Tobago Updates, and also in celebration of International Women's Week leading up to International Women's Day.
Thank you.
We continue on with an exciting venture into the food industry with Miss Kenia Johnson. She has lots of eats to introduce to you all today. So we encourage you all to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Your destiny. The best way to predict it is to create it. Do you see yourself exploring exotic destinations or spending quality time with family? However you see yourself, create your own retirement destiny with Tata Life's Destiny Personal Savings Booster. Choose from one of 3 investment options with guaranteed minimum investment returns to secure a monthly retirement income for life, with the option to choose your retirement age. So what's your retirement destiny? Call 62TATIL or visit tatil.co.tt to learn more today. Conditions apply. Tatil Life, a member of the Ansa Makal Group.
Welcome. Come have a seat. Oh, this is so stylish, and I love the fabric. Darlings, you must tell us where you got your new furnishings.
We got them locally at Standard. They've got new chic European furniture, crafted from high quality material.
Oh, Standard?
No, it's Standard, their brand new Hive collection.
Experience luxurious European furniture at a price you will love. The Hive collection, now exclusively available at Standard.
everyone, it's your boy Harry here from Authentic Builders General Hardware, located right here in Tobago Local Road, Tobago. That's correct, right here in Tobago. And we are offering you guys the best prices on all hardware material. And if you would like to get your free quotation done, all you have to do is WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will give you guys the best prices on all hardware material. That is a guarantee as we are matching or beating any quotations.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back. It's Youth Wednesdays here on the Tobago Updates Morning Show, and this morning we have a very exciting interview. So we're going to be trying some food this morning. Good morning to you, August. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning. I am doing very well, and you?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm always happy to have food. If anybody knows me, I really, really like to eat, and the food looks very gorgeous, very delicious. So I'm very excited to try it. But before we try the food, let's have you tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am Kenya Johnson from Speyside, the owner of Lunch on Friendies, a full catering company. And what makes our catering company is the unique flavors of Trinidad and Tobago. We emphasize local flavors, and that is what differentiates our product from others, including our customer service.
Okay, wonderful. Tell us a little bit about the business itself. What was the motivation, what was the inspiration? How did you become a chef, a caterer?
Well, I grew up in food. One thing that my family loved was to entertain. It's always a harvest at our home. And from there, I was inspired to do food. Even though I have a degree in banking and finance, so while at university, every day my sister would say to me, I don't know why you are here. I don't know why you are here. I don't know why you go to culinary school. Just go. And when I came back from university, because I studied at the Mona campus, I took the leap of faith and went to TTHTI at that time because they are now closed. Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay, so in terms of International Women's Day and inspiration, you said that it would have been your parents, your family, who would have motivated you to become a chef, and your sister was the one who encouraged you to take that leap of faith after studying banking and finance, and now you're doing culinary arts, a completely different field. Let's talk a little bit about you as an entrepreneur. What is that journey like?
That journey was not an easy one. It comes with its challenges. However, when you are powered by God, the Holy Spirit, it gives you that motivation and that drive. Every day you get up full of hope, full of joy, ready to go, ready to create the next meal.
Okay. You also said that your distinguishing factor would be the flavors that you focus on and your customer service.
Yes.
What else would you say sets you apart? Because we know that a lot of people in Tobago are caterers, cooking, doing that kind of thing. Why should people choose you?
Okay, with our flavors, we the long-term goal for our brand is about gastronomy tourism, where people come to Tobago to experience that sweet and culture that we know of. And because of a lot of caterers shying away from the local products, I want to take that spin and do it in a modern way where people come, still get that local feel, however, in an elevated way. Because you start eating with your eyes first.
Most definitely. Well, I'm already eating with my eyes, and I'm very excited for us to try this food later on in the interview. Of course, you said that, you have challenges and you have to be powered by God to be able to overcome them. But as an entrepreneur, of course, I know that financial challenges is something that will definitely arise. Has that ever occurred? How did you treat with something like that?
Yes, it does from time to time. especially when you have government work with money in accounts receivables, and accounts receivable can be detrimental to your business. However, because I have a bit of experience in finance, because I worked in the bank for over 9 years, I still able to maneuver how I structure things, because record keeping is one of the most important things. And even with record keeping, having that business account and not commingling your funds and ensure that you can account for everything is one of the way that I maneuver that financial challenge.
Okay. And in terms of young women who probably they want to go into culinary arts, but they're not sure how profitable it would be, so they probably did a degree like you in banking and finance. What motivation can you give to them for them to follow their dreams?
Okay, the main thing I would say, allow passion to be your driver, because once there is passion, that standard of excellence come about. Without passion, you just treat it like a hustle. When you are driven by passion, there is a standard that is very high, and you always try to become better and better and better at what you do.
Okay. And let's talk a little bit about the food, the dishes that we have here today.
All right. Today we would like to introduce one of our all things Tobago pasta, and this is a play on plantain and smoked fish. And in its simplest form, it's just tossed in a herb olive oil. So you can really truly enjoy the flavor of Tobago. Our chocolate cake is infused with our Tobago cocoa and a few other secret ingredients, as well as our cheesecake tart. It's actually a berry compote, and our panna cotta, we have a ponche cream that is made by a Tobagonian, also infused with a few ingredients that I won't say because it's our secret that gives us the cutting edge above the rest.
Okay. Well, the food, can we try the food?
Yes, you can. Feel free. Feel free to try and critique. You can take this.
So this one you said is the
smoked fish and plantain pasta.
Okay. So it looks to me kind of like a ravioli something.
It is a ravioli.
Okay. You can go ahead as well.
To eat.
Okay. It's not dry at all. This looks very delicious. Oh wow, this is really good. You said smoked fish and
yes.
plantain?
Yes.
Really, really good. Okay, wow, I'm already impressed. Can't wait to try the rest of it. Okay, so the chocolate cake mix?
Yes. You want me to take it up for you? This one will be a kind of bit messy.
I'll just show the viewers the smoked fish and plantain pasta. This is what it looks like. So you're seeing all the herbs there. You said a herb, olive oil, it's toasted.
Coconut oil.
Coconut oil?
Yes.
And the chocolate cake. So you said there is
the Tobago cocoa.
Tobago
infused,
cocoa.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a really good chocolate cake. It's not dry at all. I could definitely taste the cocoa. This is very, very delicious.
Thank you.
Okay.
And there is more. So we can have this one. This one I'm excited about because a lot of customers have reviewed this one, saying that they love the flavor.
So this is your top product, you would say?
No, I won't say that.
Okay, so this one is the
panna cotta.
Panna cotta, and it's
ponche
the
creme
ponche creme.
infused.
And
Yes.
this is the berry patties.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I could dig a bit deeper. Look at for the bite.
Okay. I see why your customers really like this one. I know that everyone at the back is very excited to try, but I am the first to try, so I'm even more excited. Okay, and this one is a berry compote cheesecake tart.
Yes.
Okay.
You just take one.
Okay, from your side.
You have to eat with your hand.
And how long have you been in this business?
This year will be 7 years. In December, the 12th to be specific, will be 7 years. And 7 years of learning, 7 years of saying that I am going to put Tobago on the map in the form of gastronomy tourism. People will come to enjoy our sweet hand culture.
And who do you have to thank most for the success of
God.
this business?
God. Because most of my flavors are not just something that I will just say, okay, let me do this, let me do. But I actually have that prompting in my spirit. Try this, try that. It is missing this, it is missing that. Because I spend a lot of time in prayer and fasting. And God is the one who actually told me to start a business. And that is the reason why I have my family as well as a main supporter. Those are my cheerleaders. They work in and out day and night. And I'm thankful for them as well. And they are friends that I pray with. They are those customers who inspire me and encourage me from day to day. And I will say thank you to them as well.
Yeah. Well, we want to thank you so much for coming on and chatting with us. You could just give your little inspiration to any females out there who are interested in starting a business in general. Doesn't have to be in food or anything like that.
Sure. I will say ensure that passion is your main motivator. And when it comes to your product, ensure that you know what's your unique thing that sets you apart. Ensure that you know the feature, benefits, and value of your product that you are offering, because that's why people want to interact with your product.
Well, is there anything that you plan to do to celebrate International Women's Day?
Well, actually, yes. This weekend we'll be collaborating with Dwellings. This weekend we'll be collaborating with Dwellings on a pop-up shop, and we ask all brides to be and all women who just like to see what we offer to come out and support. The location is Ryson Road, so take the time to come out and taste our tasty treats.
Okay. And in terms of collaboration with other female entrepreneurs, is that something that you see happening in the future? Collaboration with probably, I don't know, there's the World Travel Markets. Is that something you see for yourself? Because I know you spoke about tourism, gastronomy tourism.
Yes.
So is that something you see for yourself in the future?
Yes, I do see a lot of collaboration in the future, because I believe in going forward. The only way forward is collaborating. And even with the Dwelling event this weekend, I'm collaborating with another decorator to get the job done.
Okay. And I know you said that a lot of your ingredients are secrets. Is there anyone that you want to share, or you're keeping it a secret?
I can share the chocolate cake, which the main ingredients is the Tobago cocoa, but it's how it's infused in the cake.
So
that I cannot share. Yes.
As to how you do it. And do you have a place of business? Is it just catering, or do you have a business place where we can come and buy this kind of?
For now, it's catering. There's something in the pipeline. I will not share much. However, you will see it on all social media platforms when it's birthed. But you can follow us on all social media handles at Launch on Friendies. And you can also WhatsApp us. We are open 24 hours. We don't have a problem with taking WhatsApp messages. Whenever it's received, you'll get an answer. And our contact is 1-868-314-2308. That's 1-868-314-2308.
And do you see yourself ever, packaging your items and selling it in groceries, or do you want to keep that authentic feel for now?
Not groceries, because I really want a boutique that you could come and really enjoy a true Tobago flavor that is something that is unique, something that you will get nowhere else but at Launch on Friendies.
And your inspiration for the decoration, because I must say the presentation is excellent. It's extremely excellent. Taste, presentation, everything, 100%. You have an A+. What is it like? Because I know it's very intricate. What is that process like?
For me, that process is having that level of creativity that you always envision what you want to do. And once there is that passion, you always find that way to excellently present what you are doing.
And well, it's International Women's Day. Your business is local right now.
Yes, it
Do you
is.
see yourself taking it on a national scale, regionally, internationally?
Yes, there is a lot to share about Tobago and its flavor. So, of course, internationally is an option.
Great, wonderful. All right, we want to thank you so much for coming on and chatting with us this morning. We hope to see you again sometime when you expand your business and you have much more to offer. But this was really excellent, as I said.
Thank you.
I think you deserve all the praise that you get.
Thank you.
Because your food is very, very delicious.
Thank you. And thank you for having me.
Okay. So viewers, we're going to take a short break and we are going to be right back. Remember to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Jimmy's Holiday Resorts has 1, 2, and 3 bedroom, fully self-contained apartments located at the heart of Crown Point. Minutes walk to the popular beaches, restaurants, bars, and the airport. Enjoy our amazing amenities such as fully equipped apartments, complete with Wi-Fi, AC, TV, and a pool, and a mini-mart on the compound. Call 639-8292 or 8929. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts is your family's home away from home.
At JK Tech, we bring technology to your doorstep. From cutting-edge laptops to reliable printers, we've got it all. Nationwide delivery and a new website for easy online ordering. JK Tech is your one-stop shop for your electronics and computer needs, carrying top brands such as Acer, Samsung, HP, and much more. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at JKTechTT or visit jktechtt.com. Quality tech is just a click away. JK Tech. Evaluate your shopping experience, your tech, your way. Call or WhatsApp 383-2651. Shop smart, shop JK Tech.
The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning.
7:56 this morning on Youth Wednesdays Tobago Updates. We continue on. We just heard about some delicious dishes and they did include fish, one of them I think, that was mixed with plantain. Now we continue on where we can find that fresh fish. We have with us this morning Miss Tomati Ramkisoon. She is a fisherman or fisherwoman, right? But in celebration of International Women's Day, we welcome her as part of the fishing industry, a woman in the fishing industry. So, Mr. Tomati Ramkisoon, welcome to Tobago Updates this morning.
Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much.
All right. So, I want to know about you. The viewers want to know about you. So, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you fish, where you market.
Okay. My name is Tomati Ramkisoon. I am the president of Lambo Fisher Folks Association. Thank God it's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's a woman.
She not only is a fisherwoman, she is the president
of Lambo Fisher Folks Association. for over maybe 16 years.
What? And
Yeah.
Lambo is very successful in selling
Of course, we
fish.
sell the most fish in Lambo. I just boast about it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we sell the most fish in Lambo.
Mhm.
But right about now, we have the oil spillage and we don't have much
Mhm.
because one of the boat clean and go along to Buku, fishing from Buku.
Mhm. Okay. So we'll get more into the oil spill
Yeah,
and how it affected
Yeah.
Lambo later on. Right. So what inspired you to be a fisherman or fisherwoman?
Fisherwoman.
Fisherwoman.
Well, at the tender age of 10, 11, my stepfather used to carry us down on the beach of Polsine.
Mm-hmm.
Polsine at that age, when I meet 17, 18 years, I make my first son, his father was a fisherman.
Mm-hmm.
On that said note, when I make him, that my first son, my Edwin Ramkisoon, the father, his grandfather said, take me out to the sea 4 o'clock in the morning to Pol Pot. And I am blowing shell to come in.
What?
Me and he, yes, I blow shell too. I go around and blow my shell. I blow shell home. So I am an international woman.
Yes. So we welcome you for International Women's Day.
Thank you so much, you too. And then we started blow shell, and then I came with his son, make children for his son. He's a fisherman.
Mm-hmm.
And the trade move on. I get into the fishing with that. The children get into the fishing with that. They started fishing small. On Sunday weekend, them out on like no man's land out where Dr. Pol Pot. They're in the boat with us. Me and Edward Grant, we're in the boat with us, and we pulling pot.
For our viewers, what is pulling pot?
Well, fish pot.
Right.
It's fish pot on the sea with a rope, and you don't have you pull it manual with hand.
Right.
So you pull in the rope, I holding the engine in the back there, stay in the engine, and he pulling up the pot, one pot, and you come up with it. Might come up with nothing, he might come up with about 10 fish, he might come up with a pot load of fish.
Yes. So on the good days, you all are happy because
yeah, but every Sunday we say take the children, about 5 boys, and you take them out there.
Right, so it's a fishing family.
It's a fishing family. From there now, they move on. From that little thing, they move on with the father fishing, build boats. Well, I work so hard. I thank God for who helped me with working night and day, and I started to build boats for them. So I built 3 fishing boats. Because I see the advantage my children was getting from using people boat.
Right. So you did it for your family.
I did it for the children's sake.
Yes. So as the woman of the family, the fishing woman of the family, you built boats for your children.
Yes. I built the first boat, which is Fishers of Men 1.
And then you had 2 and 3.
Fish. That is the said thing.
And so what does it mean to you? What does International Women's Day mean to you?
A great lot, a whole lot. Because I was a single parent at the time, fighting up with the kids and them, send them to school, making myself proud. I didn't have to ask nobody for nothing. We catch crab to pay the rent. When boy have about 14 years, I buy a fish net. That is what we eating when we throw the net and we catch fish. So that is what we eating.
You not only in fishing.
No, I was in security at that time when I started building boat. I worked night and day in security work. And when the boat and them done build, I tell the director I am leaving now because I have 3 fishing boats.
Right.
And I did leave to see about the business.
So fishing for you was a providing source for your family, and then it moved on to being a family business.
Yes. Right. And then again, with that same fishing thing, I come and I open the association.
Okay.
Because it didn't have nobody in it really more than my children. They have nobody in it more than my children because when I started to build boat, it didn't have nobody in it to say, well, Mr. Amkiso, let me join the association. So I opened my association, the help of Mr. Holmes from Fisheries, helped me, and we move along until this day. They vote me as the president, and we never get voted out ever since.
I'm so happy to hear that for you.
Yes. As a woman.
As a woman.
Yeah.
Any difficulties at sea? Because I mean, you said you built your own fishing boat and stuff.
Yes.
So I would imagine that you are now on the seas catching fish.
Yes, I just go out with the kids and them. I just go out fishing. The first time it was hard because, you got vomit. The water, the boat rocking so, and it's hard. But after I get over that, I go any part of the world with a fishing boat now, with a boat.
So your difficulties include motion sickness, any Any other difficulties?
No.
No.
Beside that, well, I was in work a day, was working education, and my son called me and tell me, Mommy, you know, them boys ain't coming yet. And like I said, I go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
3 of them went out 47 miles, and it take 3 days to coming back. The engine break down.
Wow. So in situations where the engine would break down, what is the solution?
We have no solution for that, more like somebody find them. Because at when the boat reach 47 miles, you can't get no communication with cell phone there.
Right. Okay.
There. So we tell me, Mommy, I'm coming in 3 o'clock this evening. Leave 3 o'clock today, and I'm coming 3 o'clock tomorrow evening.
So
I'm looking out for them.
That is also a difficulty as well. Sometimes the engine would break down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But now I look into, well, right now we don't have that problem anymore because there's new engine that they bought.
Right. Okay.
So I say, thank God we don't have that problem anymore.
So we know that fishing is a male-dominated field. We see males, we know about fishermen. We don't know much about fisherwomen like yourself.
Yes.
Right? So what is it like when you pass a fisherman on the sea in your boat? What are the interactions like in the market?
Well, they feel so proud.
Right.
You know, and them children feel proud that the mommy in the water, they with them too. We go all about, we go fishing all about, we go to Shallotville. If you have to go to Shallotville, we go to Shallotville with the boat. You know, we did all about it, and them trainers feel proud because I am the only woman from Lambo. I'll say it again, I am the only woman from Lambo that's got on a fishing boat. 30 years ago, one man they call Neville. But the name was Mouse. 30 years ago, he said I was the first woman he see driving a boat.
It's truly, you are also the first woman for me as well, because I know about the women who would be in the markets, you know, and they would be the ones cleaning the fish and stuff, but I've never heard about a woman who goes out on the sea.
We go out in the sea, we come back home, I catch my fish, I sell my fish right away because I also clean and cut up and sell.
Right, so I see you being a proud woman.
Yes,
a fisherwoman,
yes, of
as
course,
the president
yes.
of the Lambo Fishing Society,
yeah.
Right? So what keeps you motivated, and what is your advice to young women as we wrap up? What is your advice to young women seeing you as a fisherwoman who would like to become a fisherwoman? What is your advice to them?
Well, I will give them good advice. Come and join me. I will teach them to fish.
So this is an invitation.
Yes,
to
invitation to anybody who want to come, because come join Miss Ramke soon. We don't only give you a fish, we teach you to fish. I carry you on the boat and I teach you to fish too.
Right.
They all who want to join, come join me. We have 3 boats. We're going to go out free of charge.
So young ladies, this is your invitation to come and join Miss Ramke soon on the seas as a fisher woman. And Miss Ramke soon, we thank you so much for being
I want to say one thing again.
Go ahead.
I eat fish, I sell fish, I dream fish, I scrape the fish, I bake the fish, I do everything with the fish. That is my dream. That is my dream come true, to deal with fish.
So it is a passion of yours.
Yes, yeah, that's my love for that. My love is for fish.
Okay. So thank you so much once again for being with us, telling us about women in the fishing industry.
Yes, I am proud to be a woman of International Women Day too, because I'm a proud mother of 7 boys, all fishermen. All fishermen.
All fishermen. All right. So thank you so much once again, Ms. Ramke Soon. Viewers, we thank you so much for listening on this morning to Youth Wednesdays on Tobago Updates. We thank you for viewing with us for the entire morning. We continue on with our exciting Good Morning Tobago with Miss Candice Jackson. We ask you to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Picture this.
He had such a magnificent presence, and his influence over many years has really shaped the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago.
Those words describe Tobago's, and specifically Lake Otto's Victor E. Bruce, who was the first local governor of the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago in 1969. Now, listen to this. In 2023, an office was re-established in Tobago where you, Yes, you can visit to lodge complaints in respect of financial services provided by banks and licensed financial institutions. And guess what? The office is housed in the iconic building named after Victor E. Bruce in Market Square, Scarborough. Meaningful, right? That organization is the Office of the Financial Services Ombudsman.
Today is also important because we are opening this office at a time when it is well known that we have some challenges getting between the both islands. And it is actually one of the mandates of the island's government to ensure that we bring a lot more of these services to the Tobago space, which in turn will prevent the need for Tobagonians to journey to Port of Spain to get these services. And so we are happy that the Office of the Financial Services Ombudsman is actually leading the way. We are indeed proud that the central bank can come home to Victor E. Bruce in this regard. And I couldn't help, as the governor spoke, about wondering whether Victor E. Bruce himself considered or thought that maybe there will be a day that some of the services of the institution that he was leading for a young nation, a brand new nation, would one day make its way across the shores to his homeland in a building named after him.
We are proud that on this momentous occasion, we are coming back to the roots in a building named after this eminent son of the soil. So I really think this is real, it is symbolic, but it is also grounded in reality.
The Financial Services Ombudsman plays a crucial role in promoting trust and confidence in the financial sector. Our mission is to provide an impartial platform for resolving disputes between consumers and financial service providers.
Services from the Ombudsman will be provided from September 27th and be made available every second and fourth Wednesday in the month from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. free of charge to members of the public.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region, with the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine. I am Candice Jackson, and let's get started with the news in 90 seconds. WASA has imposed a nationwide ban on the use of water hoses and sprinklers due to an intense dry season affecting water sources across the country. Acting CEO Kelvin Romaine announced the measures, including fines for violators, during a press conference. These measures are part of WASA's efforts to manage water supplies prudently as dry conditions worsen. Director of WASA Operations, Surya Ali, noted that the Hillsborough Dam in Tobago is currently at 77%, with its capacity expected to decrease. The authorities anticipate worse conditions in the months of March and April and are calling for citizens to be conservative with their use of water. Up next, Trinidad artist Joseph Oliveri, also known as Med's Boss, was charged under the Anti-Gang Act of 2021 for alleged gang involvement and appeared in the North High Court on March 4th. Granted $40,000 bail by Master Margaret Sukraj Gosawin, he is due back in the court on March 15th. His arrest followed an SIU investigation into social media content promoting gang violence. Police Commissioner Earl Edward Christopher announced the fight against gang promotion in entertainment, highlighting the dangers of gang culture. The arrest was part of the coordinated operation in Beetham Gardens, with further investigations led by PC Macmillan. And finally, St. Lucia's opposition leader Alan Chasney outlined plans to establish a collaborative alliance of opposition leaders from Caribbean nations to collectively address regional issues. He praised UNC leader Kamla Persad-Wistessa for her visionary leadership in initiating this concept. Chasney highlighted that crime should be seen as more than a national issue, expressing concern about the desensitization to the high crime rates. He called for a renewed sense of urgency in the tackling of the problem as Caribbean states are poised to introduce legislation for regional travel through the CARICOM single market and economy. And that was the news in 90 seconds. And viewers, of course, you know that this week we are focusing both on the morning show and on GMT. We are focusing on women because on March 8th, that's on Friday, it is International Women's Day. So all week we are celebrating women in all the different spaces within Tobago, the country, wherever they are. And there's quite a lot of women doing some very unique things out there. And one of them is Miss Melanie Trim, and she is in the energy industry. She's a manager of energy resources with the Department of Energy within the THA. So, first of all, a special good morning and welcome to you, Miss Melanie. How are you doing?
Good morning, Candace, and good morning, viewers. I am well today. How are you?
I am great. So, give us an idea of just about yourself and just your interest in this field, in energy.
Right. So, by profession, I am a petroleum engineer. And I'm also I pivoted as well to renewable engineering, right? So I guess the inspiration to get into petroleum engineering, as it is a male-dominated field, would be my early exposure to it. My dad being in the energy industry himself. I remember before the conversation, we had social studies and science. He carried me to the Point Lisas Industrial Estate. We did a tour of the estate. We looked at Brechin Castle, the sugarcane fields and different things just to have an understanding of the natural resources and Trinidad and Tobago, where we fit in the energy industry. That would have translated now into Form 3 when we had to pick subjects. I was really good at sciences, physics, geography at my introduction. And I remember we had character development, and Margaret Gordon came to our class. And she told us to close our eyes and think about where we see ourselves 10 years in the future and what we want it to be. And we closed our eyes, and when we opened, she asked me, what did you see and how did you view yourself? And I said, well, I think I'll be a geophysicist. Not knowing at that time exactly that it was related to the energy industry in Form 3. It was just an innocent suggestion. And she asked me why. I said, well, I have a keen interest in geography and physics, and I think I can merge the two, although I know that there's geology as well involved. So that is where the inspiration starts to come from. And then during geography, you do natural resources. Yes. The natural resources for Trinidad and Tobago, for Jamaica, the bauxite, different things. And ours was oil and gas. And I remember volunteering to my teacher that if my dad could get crude oil. So she was like, really? So the class was excited. You can get crude oil? So I was like, yes. I went to him and I asked my dad, Daddy, you can get crude oil, right? So a week later, I got a bottle of crude oil and I carried to the class, and it was enthusiasm and excitement all around. Looking at this black gold, this black substance, very thick, very dense. So we were able to interact with the properties of this material. And so that is where the inspiration started at a young age. I think the awareness of it, being immersed into it, having a parent involved heavily in the oil and gas industry. And then, of course, when I got into Form 6, my dad told me choose a field. And I looked at petroleum engineering. And then I went on to University of Oklahoma, where I studied petroleum engineering. And of course, a lot of men and a lot of the males would be there. So I was always the minority in terms of gender. But I think what is important is not necessarily looking at yourself as a minority, but looking at how you can level the playing field and rise to the top. You know, my brother would always tell me the cream rises to the top.
Yes.
So I always wanted to be in that place and that space where I have a competitive advantage. And so it was more about intellectual capacity and being able to challenge myself there with the men in the field and also, you know, rising.
Were you ever intimidated with the men around? So much men
No.
around?
So I wasn't. I come from a big family, one of 7, second to last, and I have 4 brothers. And so, you know, it's normal for me to be around them. My social construct within the home, we have a very close-knit family. And so, you know, we encourage each other. So being in that field, it was just a continuation of the industry. I think continuation of my home, sorry. You know, I think what was pivotal, I think you would have asked the question, the inspiration too. I would remember times when my dad would have to be on platforms and I wanted to be offshore as well. So I had that opportunity to go offshore.
All right. So what does your job entail now? Because, you know, when we think about, you know, onshore, offshore work and stuff like that, it's really hard stuff, really manual labor and stuff like that. What does your job entail now?
Okay, so I'll just go back a bit because at this time I'm more in the office. Now, when we think of offshore, you think manual labor. But as a technical person, a reservoir engineer, I would have had training in well test analysis. So that is also quantifying the volume of gas in the subsurface. So I worked offshore Tobago in particular, NCMA 4 and Block 22. Right, so I would have been the reservoir engineering training on that. So I would have been on the platform. I was one woman, the lone female of 109 men on the rig. So yes, you will have men doing the manual labor, but for me, I would have been in the offices. On the rig, it's almost like a hotel. It's like a platform. You have your lodging, you have the galley for eating and everything. And you know, you do your technical work, you do your logging, you do your interpretation and so on. So it's not, I did not have to do any manual labor because I was more sharing my knowledge, interpreting the logs, and then also quantifying what's in the subsurface. So that would have been the experience there. And I was also seconded to the UK, where I was working in the offices in Windsor and Aberdeen. So with this experience or this exposure in the oil industry, you have a plethora of opportunities. The world is your oyster, and you see how you can challenge yourself. You see how you can expose yourself, being the best in the field. You can expose yourself to a number of opportunities, and I think that is very important. So you asked about now, how is it relating now? So, you know, the oil industry is a very volatile industry.
Yes.
So in 2016, it plummeted, the oil price plummeted, and that affects a lot of aspects within the field, so inclusive of job opportunities and all of that. So I think what was important for me, I always challenge myself and I look within. I do a lot of self-reflection to see where I am relative to the industry and how I can improve, right? And I saw it was very important to diversify. Persons will always say petroleum engineering is a sort of very specialized field, and so you kind of have to stick there. So what I did, I diversified in my energy portfolio and I did studies in renewable energy. And so that is what I'm actually doing now in the Tobago House of Assembly and General. So you're looking at solar energy, energy efficiency, energy conservation, any sort of renewable energy technology. So I'm doing that now. So it's a total transition. It's a pivot, but both have, you know, you have your similarities, you have the differences, but it's all about maneuvering and being able to transfer knowledge from one sector to the other and being able to contribute valuable contribution to Tobago.
So between the two, you know, renewable energy and the petroleum industry, you know, what do you like one more? Is there one that you favor more?
In terms of the experiences that you have, the petroleum industry would always win there,
And why is that?
right? You know, you have luxurious experiences. As I said to you, I would have stayed almost quite some time in the Windsor Castle Hotel. So they pay for a lot of your accommodations, you have your drivers picking you up, and so you're introduced and exposed to a certain type of lifestyle, right? But in terms of seeing, and then you're able to see, you're quantifying this gas in the subsurface, and people come to you for that type of information. You have sensitive information, and then, I was as well in the subsurface technical team. I was the lone woman as well. So you have the drilling engineers, you have the reservoir engineers, and everybody. And they will ask you questions, and you don't feel intimidated. You see that they encourage you. They are mentors, and they even give you tips on how men are in the field and just generally in the world at large. So, but the renewable energy aspect, it has its pros, especially as it's a burgeoning sector within Tobago. So you become one of the pioneers, so you learn how to design systems, you understand where the world is going globally in terms of reducing the carbon footprint, reducing the greenhouse gas emissions, and you look at energy management strategies to underscore the agenda. Yeah.
And, what do you think about what can be done to increase the awareness about your field, especially among women themselves, and to encourage them to get into your field?
Yeah, so what is important is always integration in school curriculum. So right now, the Division of Education and even the division in which I work, which is Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, we are partnering with the Ministry of Energy and the Ministry of Education to do integrative studies in the curriculum. Right? So renewable energy technology or green engineering would be integrated into the school's curriculum. I actually have a meeting after this to speak about how we're going to move forward with that. I think key information about awareness would be also seeing the infrastructure on the ground. So I am also a tutor. So I tutor students, and they come to me, and I use the opportunity to teach them about energy management strategies. I tell them that my bill is $100 every 2 months, and they're like, Miss, how? So you take that as a learning tool. So I think that is part of awareness, speaking to the children, integrating it into the school's curriculum, and then of course doing the different projects that we'll have coming on stream very soon in Tobago. It's already started, but we started in schools because of course children, teachers, and persons, you have to get them involved so that they can carry it on, extrapolate it to the wider community.
Certainly. Yeah. And then, what are the projects that you guys are working on? Because you mentioned that there are some things that you are hoping, that the division is hoping to roll out soon.
Right. So I don't know if you know the Bloody Bay Orientation Center. So we partnered with UNDP. So the Bloody Bay Orientation Center, that would have been...
And that's in the rainforest?
That's in the rainforest. So we have that entire building as a standalone solar system that was a partnership with the European Union and UNDP. And we also have installed, the division would have installed Wi-Fi there. So it's a tourism hotspot. Everybody likes to use their phones, Snapchats, different things. So you have the access to the internet there. We have the school, Speyside High School. Their lab is powered, so of course the children will be exposed to that level of the renewable energy technology. Apart from that, we have the Speyside Health Center. It has a solar water heater on there to take their hot water needs off. And that will create some level of fiscal space. The Charlottesville Methodist Primary School has installed a 15 kilowatt capacity there, and that is to power the school with solar energy. What we see happening in Charlottesville was the frequent power outages and the low voltage issues that in rural villages or remote areas would experience due to the vegetation and of course the TNTech lines. Right, so we decided to use that school as a pilot, and we have trained persons in the community, the teachers as well as other technicians, and children and teachers were also trained. So that's a major. Apart from that, we have 4 projects coming on stream, which will be for disaster management and preparedness and climate resilience, because part of the entire renewable energy thrust is to not only engender environmental sustainability, but also to prepare us for to become more climate resilient.
Certainly.
So if there's a hurricane or anything, you still have access to electricity, you have your backup system, a contingency plan, right? And schools are secondary shelters. So it was only prudent to install those. We have 4 schools, Castara Government Primary, we have Bishop's High School, Signal Hill Government Primary School, and Scarborough Methodist. So we were very strategic to get a wide cross-section across Tobago, and of course this is just the beginning. It will then be further extrapolated. So sometimes persons think that solar energy is the be-all and end-all of renewable energy, but there are other technologies. So of course you'll be hearing a lot about the electric vehicles, rollout of that. We're seeing a lot of hybrid vehicles now. So we're looking at also rolling out electric charging stations across Tobago. So that is a very current project. And in the agricultural sector, we're also looking at doing a biodigester to see how we can convert biomass, the litter from the animals and livestock, into some sort of biogas energy. So that is coming on stream. I know you had Alicia from TARI yesterday. And so that's a project that TARI will be working on. And among other things will be climate resilience strategies within the agriculture sector.
So in essence, a whole lot of exciting things to look forward to.
Absolutely, yes.
And I mean, certainly, and you've been doing such a remarkable job in these things. And I mean, it's great to know that we have some women at the helm pioneering some of these things here in Tobago.
Absolutely, Candace.
So I want to thank you so much for being on. It was such a pleasure speaking with you and getting into some of those people that are behind a lot of those projects that we're going to be seeing rolling out, especially these ones that are considering the way that we deal with our environment, especially treating with the changes that are being imposed on us with climate change and all of that that's happening within our space. So it's very exciting. Very exciting.
Yes, agreed.
So thank you so much for being on. And viewers, please don't go anywhere because we'll be back right after this break.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a...
Scrub Ties brings to you our organic fat dissolving shots. Yes, guys, our lemon butter shot breaks down stubborn fat, tightens any loose skin while increasing your metabolism. No side effects, no downtime. We also offer cavitation, cellulite treatment, butt, breast, hip dip fillers, weight loss, fertility IVs, and much more. Contact us on 495-6624 or follow us on Instagram at Scrub Ties Body Contouring.
Rotisserie, mouth-watering fries, salads, combos, and specials galore. Feeling for something to eat? Come and see. Our rotisserie is seasoned to the T. Kicking chicken, masala, and jerk roast. Crispy fries made from scratch. Who do you know can beat that? Or salads freshly cut and packed. When you taste it, you'll be wanting to come back. So come check us out on number 2 Robinson Street, Uptown Scarborough, Tobago. We open on Saturday nights from 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Monday to Thursday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. and on Friday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us at 772-7443 and all social media handles at The Rotisserie Factory.
Inner Health, number 13B Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago, with over 25 years experience offering services in and not limited to microscopic blood analysis, reflexology, and the sale of a wide range of organic herbal products used to supplement thyroid, lymphatic, heart, kidney, and brain health, and the male and female reproductive systems. Come and chat with us. Remember, your health is your wealth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, viewers. Now we are heading into, we still continuing with our conversation about women, but we're unpacking the theme of Women's Day, International Women's Day this year, and it is about inspiring inclusion. So I'm going to be joined right now by Miss Melissa Agbeko Walker, and she's a food technologist out of the marketing department in the THA. And special good morning and welcome to you. How are you doing?
Good morning, Candice. I am well, thank you. Good morning to the listening and viewing public. Good morning, a special good morning to our Secretary of the Division, Mrs. Natisha Charles Pantin, and a special good morning to our administrator as well, Mrs. Edwards Louis.
Nice.
Yes.
Now, let's get into International Women's Day and the theme for this year. Tell me about how that is, how you are treating with that theme for this year.
All right. So the theme for this year is inspiring inclusion, and basically, traditionally, women were not seen at the helm in whatever fields that they were in, and so they weren't seen at the helm. So in various spaces, in the workplace and at home, and generally wherever you would see women. But what has happened is that we've seen a shift. We've seen a shift where women are now taking up more prominent roles, where traditionally these roles were not held by them. We would have seen more male dominance where that is concerned. So if we look at our national space, we would see our president is a woman. Or second female president. We have women in various organizations. We have women pilots. Traditionally, we didn't see those things. We have women, if you look at the THA space, our chief administrator, Mrs. Denise Toby-Kwashi, is female. We also have many various secretaries, and our own secretary of the Division of Food Security, Ms. Natisha Charles Pantin, is female as well. So in the last few years, we wouldn't have seen something like that. So we're now seeing a lot of women in these spaces where we would not have traditionally seen them. And our secretary did mention we are seeing a lot of fisher folk. We're seeing a large number of agri-processors. So we're seeing women in spaces where we would not have traditionally seen them. So what is happening is that there still exist disparities. However, we try to close those gaps we would try to close. So disparities where we see disparities between what is expected of us as women and what is actually reflected. So what is reflected in terms of respect in the workplace, in terms of remuneration, and different areas that you can see where women are, basically.
So how are we, how is the division going forward in terms of highlighting that? And of course, using that to inspire other women to try different things as well?
All right. So we mentioned that disparities do exist, right? So in terms of encouraging feminism in the workplace, so traditionally, whenever we hear the word feminism, it brings up negative connotations, right? So we want to actually change the narrative where that is concerned. So when we think of feminism, it's a more positive thing. So if we look at some of the challenges that we have in the workplace where women are concerned, something as simple as maternity leave. Maternity leave is 3 months for women. And in many other countries, they would have adopted a longer maternity leave period of up to a year and sometimes longer, where women would be able to have that bonding time with their children, which is very, very important. That time in a child's life is very, very pivotal. So it allows that bonding between mother and child. It allows that bonding to happen. It allows for healing of the mother during that time. If we bring in paternity leave as well, paternity leave is very, very short, and we tend to underestimate the role of the male as well. They are pivotal. Their support is extremely important, especially for mother during this very trying time.
Yes.
We know that postpartum depression is real. So the mother needs that type of support during this time. And so 3 to 4 days for the male counterpart is very, very short. And 3 months is very, very short as well for a mother. So that time, I definitely think, can be extended so that we have better rounded individuals being raised, so that the mother and the child can bond during that time.
Yes.
Remember, the societal issues arise from the home. So if the mother can impart certain values during that time, bond with the child, she can heal, mentally, emotionally, physically, I think is very, very important. Another issue that we see is that with many working mothers, we know that we have children, and many times you would see the mothers having to leave work to come back with the children in that space. So something as simple as having a dedicated space for children to be able to come while the mother is at work.
And to be safe.
And to be safe. And to be safe so that, the mother balancing two hats, that of mommy, corporate mom, and mommy for the child, having to balance those two hats, her mind will be a bit more at ease. And just not for mothers only, but for fathers as well, who have this responsibility as well. So I think it's very, very important so that we have that support, those support mechanisms in place for parents to be able to access, whether it's a daycare on site or a daycare nearby or a homework center, for instance, something that would support the mother and the parents generally and the child so that we have less disruptions in our workday. Something which would have occurred recently, in recent times, let's say between 2019 and 2022, we know that we had the pandemic.
Yes.
And we would have moved to a hybrid work system. So, and we were forced to do it because we could not have been outside in large numbers. So if maybe that type of system can be revisited, whereby you have the parents working some days remotely so that they can probably keep an eye on their children, and then you come into the office on certain days, depending on the type of work that is required of the mother or the parent generally, I think that would augur well and would go well so that we just have a more balanced individual. We create a more balanced individual, create a more balanced family so that there is less stress on the household. There's less stress when you have to commute, and we could see that the consequences are far, far reaching. So those sorts of systems, if we put them in place, we have some things in place, but not officially, but if we could have something officially in place, I think that would be very, very supportive for parents.
Why do you think that, even after all we went through in the pandemic and even after families in all sectors of work, understood that, hey, the benefits of having their children around and stuff like that and being able to figure out a way how to balance work and, the household and, figuring out the remote work system. Why is it that we still have to go back to a state where we're back out in physical places and then it's back to a reluctance to have that remote work set up?
I think that is what we've grown accustomed to. We're accustomed to an 8-to-4, 9-to-5 job. We're accustomed to coming into the office, clocking our hours. We are accustomed to that. However, the world is changing. The world is changing, and many countries, many cities have adopted this remote working situation, and they're seeing a boost in the productivity of their staff.
And I don't want to stick a pin there because, a lot of times there's the notion that, if some employee is allowed to work remotely, then they're not going to be productive.
I think we're so accustomed to the hours of work. So probably we could look at task-related work, where a certain task is given and it is completed, to the best of the employer's ability. So we have to really shift our thinking to think, okay, we don't have to see the person physically at work. They can work remotely and still get good work done, and sometimes even better work done. Because during the pandemic, many people reported that they got their best work done while they were at home. So I think this is very, very important. This is very, very pivotal, and probably reconsideration of the way that we do things. We know we've done things a certain way for a long time. It doesn't mean that it's the most effective way that things can be done. Things can always be improved. And I think we should really open our minds to the possibility of doing things differently. Definitely.
So going back now to the theme for this year's Women's Day, and being able to inspire that change and inspire the way that we view the workforce and everything like that. How are you guys, trying to do that inspiration?
Inspiring women to just
it's inspiring the change in the workspace and so on.
All right. So we know that it's International Women's Day. So in my capacity as a food technologist, that's my capacity within the division. However, I do wear many different hats. And all of these different hats are actually geared toward empowerment of women in some way, shape, or form. So, for example, so when that happens, when that is the case, and when this is the case, I'm able to draw on the expertise of my other areas to be able to augment and then benefit and then serve my portfolio of food technologies so that I can be of better service or in better service of our both internal stakeholders and external stakeholders. So for example, yes, I deal with food. However, how does food get digested? How does it affect our bodies? Is food just food that we take in by our mouth, or is it what we take in through our eyes, our nose, everything? It's ingestion. So recently, I would have conducted for the division a workshop on gut health. So yes, food science. However, how does that affect our gut health? So in trying to be in service and at all internal, external stakeholders, I try to draw on the different areas of expertise, especially since the marketing department under which I fall has been given a new mandate for education and training. So with that being said, I said, you know what, it will be excellent to be able to draw on these other areas to augment what I already know so that I can offer workshops and different seminars, so that a woman especially can benefit. So for example, we know that our employee workforce is quite large.
Yes.
And we do have a large women employee workforce at the Division of Food Security. So in keeping and in commemoration of International Women's Day, we'll be hosting a women's wellness workshop for staff within the division, and that happens next week, Thursday, at 10 a.m. at the division's headquarters. And as our secretary, Letitia Charles Pantin mentioned, please stay tuned for other workshops, upcoming workshops that would be listed on the division's homepage. So that definitely, that women's wellness workshop. There's another one coming up, I guess later on. We'd have one on sugar, speaking about sugar. So how the food we eat, or, sugar is food technically, so how it affects our bodies. Women's wellness would be there, and then eating for energy. How do we optimize what we eat so that we feel energized after we eat? Because we know that traditionally, after we've eaten, something happens to all of us.
Yes, we're all tired.
We're all
and
tired.
Then it's also the daily tasks that we take on.
Definitely.
I mean, as a woman, you're taking care of your home, you're taking care of your children, and then of course you also have your career, and you're also earning money.
That's right.
And that takes a toll on you.
It really does. And then for women especially, it's very different for us because at home we wear one hat, that of mommy, that of wife, that of caretaker. However, we wear different hats when we're in the corporate space. So sometimes for many of us, it is difficult to be able to switch between the two. And it is very necessary for us to be able to know how to switch between the two hats, that of corporate person, and then mommy at home. Because sometimes what happens is that, I don't know if you've ever heard the term boy energy. We are operating in a boy energy at work, where we have to meet deadlines, where we have to get things done, where we have to be go, go, go. However, it's not always optimal to carry that same energy home. So we have to be able to know how to switch back into our girl energy so that we can optimize who we are.
And food can help.
Food can help as well, definitely. Just having some time for ourselves, just being able to wind down and, have that time between the time we leave work, whether it's while we're driving or if we park up somewhere so that we can, de-stress and come back and switch into that different mode. Definitely.
All right. And
Yes.
so when are we going to be able to be hearing a bit more about some of these other workshops and other things that you all have planned?
So definitely stay tuned. Our division's Facebook page would have announcements coming up. So we would be advertising when we'd have workshops for the public. So in different types of processing. So it's not just the processing part, but the other parts, right? So ham processing, yogurt processing. So look forward to those, as the secretary mentions, that we look forward to those being advertised on the division's homepage.
All right, great. I want to thank you so much, Ms. Walker. I don't know
Thank
if you,
you.
I'm going to give you a minute if I missed anything this morning.
I think you covered everything, Candice.
Okay, great.
Yes, thank you so much.
All right, well,
Yes.
thank you so much for being on, and viewers.
Thank you.
Please don't go anywhere because we have a lot more coming up for you after this break.
I say thanks a favor to wake up and hear my neighbor. 60,000 people strong and divided.
No place like home, home, home.
Oh, I love Tobago, baby.
When we outside, it's an ocean of love. All that we align to the stars up above. Let we dance now, take a chance now with me. And we go jump till morning. Look, the moon gone sleeping. Tell them we not leaving till the last drop of bacchanal is madness in the capital. So I feel like I'm running tongue again. Jump and shake the ground again. Live with all my friends and them. No place like home, home, home. We go jump till the moon come down. It's we who the stars shine on. Play a mass and break away. Freedom in we DNA.
Your destiny. The best way to predict it is to create it. Do you see yourself exploring exotic destinations or spending quality time with family? However you see yourself, create your own retirement destiny with Tata Life's Destiny Personal Savings Booster. Choose from one of 3 investment options with guaranteed minimum investment returns to secure a monthly retirement income for life, with the option to choose your retirement age. So what's your retirement destiny? Call 62TATIL or visit tatil.co.tt to learn more today. Conditions apply. Tatil Life, a member of the Ansa Makal Group.
Guys, welcome. Come have a seat. Oh, this is so stylish and I love the fabric. Darlings, you must tell us where you got your new furnishings.
We got them locally at Standard. They've got new chic European furniture, crafted from high quality material.
Oh, Standard?
No, it's Standard, their brand new Hive collection.
Experience luxurious European furniture at a price you will love. The Hive collection, now exclusively available at Standard.
Yo everyone, it's your boy Harry here from Authentic Builders General Hardware, tobago right here in Tobago, local road, Tobago. That's correct, right here in Tobago. And we are offering you guys the best prices on all hardware material. And if you would like to get your free quotation done, all you have to do is WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will give you guys the best prices on all hardware material. That is a guaranteed, as we are matching or beating any quotations.
Yeah. Hey.
on Tobago updates, viewers. Now we are switching gears to something coming up pretty soon, something that's on the annual calendar every year here in Tobago. And I'm talking about the Mount Pleasant Easter Monday sports. And that's happening on Family Day of happening, of course, on Easter Monday, where we get to see some good racing and so on there on the Mount Pleasant grounds. So just to give us an idea of what we can expect for this year, we are being joined by Miss Jean Henry. She's the Assistant Secretary of the Canby Mount Pleasant Community Council, as well as Miss Ann Rollocks Broom, committee member of the Canby Mount Pleasant Community Council. Good morning and welcome to you both. How are you doing this morning?
We're good. Thank you. Good.
So we're here once again to talk about the Mount Pleasant games and the Family Day for Easter Monday. What can we expect for this year?
Well, this year is our 49th anniversary at the Mount Pleasant Recreation Grounds.
Mm-hmm.
We have a day packed for our spectators. We have our annual goat race. We have novelty events and athletic events.
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course, everything starts at 11 a.m. The entrance fee to the grounds, $100 for the stands, $60 for the adults, for the grounds, $30 for children, to the years to 11 years, and after 6 p.m., it's $100 across the board.
So I'm anticipating that there's something special happening after 6 p.m. on Easter Monday. So tell me about that. What can we expect?
Well, we have our after sports show.
Mm-hmm.
Our marketing team will be here again to advertise and to tell you all about that and to tell you who our artists would be. We do not want to disclose it as yet, but we have special artists coming on. So you will see Miss Broom again and her marketing team that will come to tell us all about the after sport. But we also have the Bonnet Parade, which is a really spectacular event, right, that comes out on that day. Well, as for the Bonnet Parade, we have, we cater from babes in arms to 12 years for girls, only girls this year. We have no couples because over the years we have been trying with the couples and like the little boys, they are not interested. So we will not be having the couples segment this year. It's $100 across the board to register,
participate?
yes, to participate. We usually have late fees, but no, we have no late fees this year, so you can register on the day. All we ask is that you bring a synopsis of what the child will be portraying, right? And we have very attractive prizes, and all the children, all the participants will be going home with some sort of a prize or consolation prize. Even though you didn't make it in the first three, you will get something to go home with. We also have our vendors area, and Mrs. Booms will tell you about that.
All right, we had our registration of our vendors yesterday, and as we speak, that list is we have closed off so far. So come on the 22nd, the vendors, we're expecting to get in contact with you all to collect your passes, your vehicular passes and the handbands. So that would be on Friday, the 22nd at 5 p.m. at the community center.
All right. So, I mean, we're expecting a very exciting day this year on Easter Monday.
Yes.
And tell me about have you guys been having any challenges and getting it together for this year? How has been the planning process like?
Well, planning a sports of that magnitude is a lot of work. We started since last year, right? And we go through from October right on to Easter. Now, next year will be our 50th year. So we will be having bumper sports next year.
So I'm guessing the planning has already started.
That's right. Our 50th year, it will be greater. We hope, but we are asking everybody to come out to support, because we have any vendors, we have all kind of food that would be there, right? You can taste some Tobago local food and all of that. So we are asking you to come out and support. Some of our challenges, we still have some areas to cover with some sponsorship, but we will be there. We will get there, right? We have some our sponsors, and we like to thank them so much for being with us over the years. There are some sponsors that they're all the time and support us, and we like to thank. We so much appreciate what they have been doing for us over the years.
Certainly. And then what is so special about just the games and the Sports and Family Day at Mount Pleasant?
Well, you see, at Mount Pleasant, we cater for the entire family. In addition to that, what I observe over the years, well, the sports is as old as I am. Over the years, I realized that it's like a reunion. You find that a lot of people come back home for Easter, and the meeting place is at Mount Pleasant. You know, sometimes people who we haven't seen for years, they came in from the States, from England, from Canada, wherever they are, and, you know, they just want to be at home for Christmas, for Easter.
And certainly, and of course, you get a little bit of the goat racing and all of that bit of culture.
Yes. And the goat racing, we have the goat racing team that will be back here also to explain that, because we have different categories which people need to understand, the A class, the B class races. So the Goat Owners Association, they will be back here with us to enlighten the public on how that goes, because, you know, some people don't understand how the goat racing goes and how they change from one class to the other class, right? So we will be here. We are a little early this year, because we usually be here on the last week, but we are a little early this year. So you will see us again, Candice, as the marketing team roll out our plans, because we are moving from 49 into 50. So you will see us even earlier next year to highlight our 50th anniversary, which we know it will be great.
For next year, it is our intention to bring back the road race, right? Because that would be a signature event for our 50th anniversary. Also, this year for our 49th anniversary, we would have one of our honorary member is, of course, Miss Jean Scott Henry. Every year, we try to honor one of our members, you know, we thank them for their dedicated service. And, you know, we just want to say thank you. And this is our way of showing our appreciation to these members for their dedication.
And certainly, and she's been one of the persons that's been at the helm, ready to go every single year, not giving up. So you certainly want to thank you for your service.
Another thing, last year we made a little change. We started with athletic races, but we find it didn't work as smoothly as how our first year over the years was in honor of Mr. Mount Pleasant. Remember that gentleman?
Yes, I do.
Right. So we are going to start back, and this is the 10th year since he passed. So we are going to honor him, right, on that, and we are going to make that first race again in honor of him, Mr. Mount Pleasant, because he was part of our
He was the heart and soul of it.
Right. So we are going to honor him.
All right. Great. So, you know, as we're getting ready to wrap the conversation this morning, just remind folks about where they need to be and what they need to be doing on Easter Monday.
Right. Easter Monday, 1st April 2024, all roads lead to the Mount Pleasant Recreation Ground for the Canby Mount Pleasant Community Council Easter Monday sports meeting. So we're taking this opportunity to invite each and everyone to come and spend the day with us at Mount Pleasant.
All right. Nice and simple. All right, I want to thank you both for being on with us. And of course, you'll be hearing more as the days lead up to Easter Monday about what we can expect at one of our heralded events for the whole Easter weekend here in Tobago. We get a bit of good racing and a bit of community culture, community rivalry and togetherness, which is what we need definitely within our space right now. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
All right, viewers, so hope you have a safe and wonderful day, and we will see you again on tomorrow.
As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong.